Y'all, there is yet another game I have not heard about that I am absolutely in love with that I got to try over this past weekend. But before we jump into it, a big thank you to Kepler Interactive for sending over a key so I could check out Ovis Loop for myself. If you enjoy pixel art, roguelike games with dynamic combat and player-led combo crafting along with a dark post-apocalyptic world with anthropomorphic animals, then Ovis Loop might just be a game for you. But how does Ovis Loop work? Let me break it down. Loops are broken up in sections that end with a boss fight. So you can reach this boss fight after making your way through a map, which is basically like one loop. And as you make your way through this map, there are different sections that you can reach. Some sections will have things to make your weapon stronger, like you'll find upgrades. Some will have some currency. Some will have ways to upgrade your health for this loop. So as you pick up more and more of these modules or things to upgrade for each loop, you will become stronger and stronger as you reach the end of the loop for the boss fight. In some areas, though, you will need to make choices where you can get a reward or a penalty, and this can sometimes even affect how certain factions see you, depending on who you choose to help in some scenarios. There are also some areas with mini-bosses that you have to defeat and make it to the next area. There are also some undiscovered areas that you can come across. These are like question marks on the map, and when you encounter them, you don't really know what's going to be inside of this area. You're not really sure exactly what you're going to come up against. But I have noticed that usually these lead to story pieces being unlocked for the game. The story in Ovis Loop is something that you discover as you play the game. You play the game as a robot sheep named Omega, who seems to have lost all of his memories, and slowly, as you complete the game, you're gaining more and more of this memory back to figure out why you're even in these loops and in this situation and what's going on in the world around you. So that was really cool, and it was definitely intriguing to get through each loop to find more and more information. If you defeat the final boss at the end of a loop, you move on to the next one and continue getting stronger while unlocking new abilities, getting new buffs for your weapons and yourself, etc. Though, if you run out of health during a boss fight or at any time in the loop will end and you will be sent back to a lab area where you can sometimes get more permanent upgrades. You can look at like a huge storyboard to see how everything you've unlocked during that run kind of like connects to each story piece as you're figuring out, what's going on in the world, which was really cool. And you can do a few more things in this little lab. And from there is where you can start another loop. And you do replay these loops over like these maps again, but they're never the same. They generate differently every single time. So you're not playing the exact same thing every time, and you don't get the exact same weapon unlocks every time as well. So you definitely got to be strategic in the way that you go about picking what you upgrade and what abilities you choose as you go through each loop. It is nice though that the game doesn't really punish you for starting over. I really like that in this loop system there are permanent upgrades that you can get and you do unlock. So it's almost like the game is designed so that when you do technically fail a loop, you're not really failing, you're just finding more ways to build yourself up permanently so that you can continue to be stronger and stronger every time you go through the loops. And the loops do get easier and easier every time you get to the next boss fight. So I found that to be really fun and rewarding at the same time. But if all that sounds a little too overwhelming or difficult, don't worry. There are two different game modes that you can choose from. One is kind of like a harder mode. It's the one that the developer recommends you play on. And if you like action games, then it's definitely more action focused and combat focused. So you'll take a little more damage and your hits to you cost a little more. Or if that seems like it's overwhelming, you can also choose a more story-focused mode where you can take a little bit more damage and it's not as combat-focused, though you're still going to be doing the module upgrades. You don't lose that ability altogether, but you'll definitely be able to get through the loops a little bit quicker, but not like it's super easy. I've played both, and I did prefer the story one just because I like to make progress, and I do get frustrated in games. Since my brain injury, I do be getting frustrated at the games, okay? So I did like that mode and played it a lot, but there was definitely no, like the challenge was not taken away. The challenge and strategic decisions I had to make were still there. It's just not as punishing when you get to a boss fight and, I wasn't losing right away. But they have also done a lot of balancing with that. Like I did notice when the first couple days I played after release, I was having a hard time getting through the first loop. I felt like it was impossible, or like I thought I was doing something wrong, but apparently there were some balancing issues. So the team has been working away at bugs and, all kinds of issues with the game, and the game is in early access, so there is a lot more content they are planning to release regularly. They have a roadmap up, and they are dedicated and are already releasing many patches and updates to keep the game running as smoothly as possible while taking community feedback, which is always awesome to see a team super dedicated to making sure their game gets to its 1.0 in a timely fashion, but also taking their time to make sure they get all the things they want into it to make it the best game it can be. The game actually runs really well on Steam Deck as well, so really didn't run into any game-breaking bugs, and again, I only dealt with that on PC for like maybe one day. The next day when I started playing on Steam Deck, didn't notice it, and Steam Deck ran beautifully. I had such a great time playing on Steam Deck, and as you know, it's my preferred way to play because I like to play it in bed, or I went outside and sat on my back deck and played it a little bit while I was sitting outside, and I was just enjoying the vibe of a nice day while playing some games, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So you can take Ovis Loop with you wherever you go, as it runs perfectly on Steam Deck, even though I don't think it's verified yet, but it probably will be. Really cool. I really enjoyed it, and again, I hadn't heard about it until its release week, and then I reached out and was like, hey, I definitely would like to check out this game. It looks pretty cool, and it was honestly so much better than I thought. I've recommended it to my brother because I think it's a game he would definitely really enjoy, and it's so great. The pixel art is so beautiful. Like, I love it. It's so fun to look at. I like the way that the abilities look. The animations are so cool, and the weapon abilities are so fun to use. Like, they're so satisfying in the way that they sound and the way that they are responsive and work while you're playing the game. And I just genuinely had such a good time playing this game over the weekend, and I'm excited to see more and more of the story and watch how they add more and more things to the game to make it complete at its 1.0. But let me know if you're going to check out Ovis Loop. Big thank you again to Kepler Interactive for sending over a key. I always appreciate support from anyone on this channel, and I only get these opportunities because of you, my community. So thank you all so very much. If you enjoy this video or you think that someone else will really enjoy this game, definitely share the video with them. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and like the video so it gets more people to be able to check out this game if they don't know about it yet, because y'all, I'm chronically online looking at video games, and I never heard about this one, and it's really fun. Like I'm saying, it's happened a couple times already. Some pretty fun games are out there. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay safe, hug your loved ones, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.